Hi everyone. Sorry, I know that it's been a few days since I last posted anything. It's not that I'm not making the videos because I do all the prep and all the admin like every evening before I go to bed. It's just actually putting it on the blog. That's the problem. So I feel like probably over the next day or two, I'm just gonna like spam you guys with all of the things that I didn't send during the week. Sorry about that. Um, but anyways, I also want to try keep this to a minimum because YouTube is stopping me from loading my videos because they're too long. So I don't feel like I'm going into the right direction. But anyways, okay, just a few quick things before I go into the theme for today. Remember last time I mentioned that someone gave feedback on the fact that I'm not acting the character, as in being insecure and so on, as like my hair is still out of my face and so on. So what I did is for the past, actually over this weekend, what I've been doing is that I've been wearing my hair like this, so it covers up. Sorry, I took it off because, guys, my skin is getting so oily. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna have to go for a facial after this. Yeah, so I had my fringe completely in front of my face like this, and so I'd be walking, and then as soon as someone would pass me, I'd put my head down. So I feel like that is sort of stepping into the right direction of being in that character. But yeah, any more feedback, any more advice would be fantastic. Okay, another reminder, guys, please go to the blog www.neurosociety.wordpress.com. Yeah, and everything will be there shortly. Unfortunately, it's not there now, but it will be. Okay, so anyways, today's theme is bullying and social Darwinism. The reason why these two are together because there's a theory, or there is this idea that bullying could be linked to the process or of the ideology of social Darwinism. So for those of you that do not know, I have a few lovely definitions here. Okay, so social Darwinism is the modern name given to various theories of society that emerged in the United Kingdom, North America, and Western Europe in the 1870s. And it's applied biological concepts of natural selection and survival of the fittest to sociology and politics. Okay, another one. So people, groups, and races were subject to the laws of natural selection. So you guys know natural selection from Charles Darwin. It's basically survival of the fittest. Let's get rid of the weak and focus on the strong in order to improve society. Okay, so the weak were diminished and their cultures were delimited, and the strong grew in power and culture and cultural influence. And this was an attempt to reform society. Okay. The term social Darwinism was not actually made by Charles Darwin. It was coined by Herbert Spencer. So you guys can go take a look at Herbert Spencer. So yeah, basically survival of the fittest, that you need to fit in or go home. That's basically what it is. And this whole idea, I mean, it can be linked to a lot of things because the ideology is so strong and it's so present in the sense of we need to get rid of the weak. So like your classic, I suppose, incidences, Nazi Germany and the Holocaust. I personally feel like that is a perfect example of the whole Aryan race and making a strong society, a strong, pure, like, breed of Germans, if that makes sense. So even it wasn't just Jewish people that were targeted. It was also African people and, well, black people, sorry, and German, like full-blooded Germans, but if they were homosexual or if they were disabled in any way, shape, or form, they were also added to the concentration camps, and the women were sterilized so that they could not reproduce. So this wasn't just it was embedded into every form of that society, even the Germans, who were supposedly the perfect race. But even they had to be fixed and edited even more in order to create the Aryan race. Okay, there's a little flashback of history there. And yeah, so the sociobiology, you can say that it really influences the ideas such as like racism and eugenics. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. Just the ideology and how that could have influenced, as I said, like racism. It's if you think about it, it's pretty spot on. Okay, so that's quick little explanation. So the reason why I've linked it to bullying is, so it's a question that I'm asking you guys. It's a bit of a debate. So is bullying, or not bullying, but is the whole, you know, like staring at people who are different, or who have a birthmark, or who are in a wheelchair, or, you know, whatever the case may be, is that reaction by our own, is it, what's the word, sorry, is it our own influence that, you know, it's because as agents we can decide, you know, right from wrong. We can make our own decisions. We have control over our bodies. It's not like we're being held by gunpoint, or that we are little robots, you know, like walking around doing these things. We are agents that have free will. Free will. Sorry, I really hope I don't get arrested for any of these blogs. But anyways, so is this, okay, let's not say bullying, okay? Bullying is a part of it, but let's say judging others, okay? Which is an instant subconscious reaction. Is it something that we have control over of? And if so, or if not, is it influenced by our environment? Is it influenced by the way that we were brought up? It's the whole nature versus nurture thing. So I suppose nature being the social Darwinism theory, in the sense of it's because it's based on, well, it was originally based on animals and plants. So it wasn't necessarily aimed towards the human race. But yeah, well, that was the natural selection. But social Darwinism was aimed towards people. So can we say that it's the basic thing of survival of the fittest, you know, that has been programmed into our animalistic brains, which I don't care how classy you are, we are all animalistic, and it's in all of us, so just accept it now. So is it something that is sort of embedded in our DNA? It's something that, because it's odd, because it's different from us, because it's the other, does that mean that we have the right to stare, that we have the right to judge? Because in our minds, and guys, this is like, as I'm saying, this is all subconscious, they may seem too different, and a lot of us don't deal with different very well, because it's unknown, it's strange, it's not something that we can understand, and it puts us in a position where we are uncomfortable, and therefore we are out of control, and no one likes being out of control. So by judging others before they've even had the chance to open their mouths, we are already a step ahead of them in this like survival of the fittest, in this entire race, as in like race, that we have going on. So yeah, so that's nature, and nurture would be the way that they were raised, environmental factors, social factors, cultural factors, experience. You know, were they terribly bullied as a child? Were they not? Did they have something going on at home? I mean, it's super easy to just be like, ugh, such a bully, or like, no, so judgmental. But and I absolutely love this example, and I'm not justifying anything that the Manson family did. For those of you that don't know Charles Manson, He is a very, very well-known cult leader. Um, yeah, guys, please look him up. He's a really, really interesting character, interesting fellow. And when he was 4 years old, his mother sold him for a crate of beer. And he grew up to be one of the most, I suppose, famous or infamous psychopaths out there. I mean, yeah, as I said, take a look at his story. I'll post some of it on today's blog. Um, but yeah, so you need to sort of consider these factors, but at the same time, it's this whole thing of, you know, like, get over it. Some people have very terrible childhoods. Some people have terrible, terrible lives. Yet they are the most fantastic people. They are nice. They aren't judgmental, you know, and this and that. So it's this whole thing about playing the victim or not playing the victim. Because those who are being bullied as well as the bullies are victims in this scenario. And people need to remember that. I'm not saying take bullying lightly. I'm not saying, oh no, poor little Thomas. Poor little Thomas has had a bad childhood. It's okay, cool. It's not okay. It's not okay, regardless of the way that you were brought up. And I know that it's a very harsh thing, but it's, to me, it's the reality. You cannot blame your past. Yeah, but anyways, so I'm drifting off again. But yeah, so the main debate today is so nature versus nurture in terms of negative behavior towards people that are different than to what we are, whether it's physical, racial, like along those lines, like physical as in appearance or as in ability, or also mental ability and emotional ability and all those things. So is it the fact that we have subconsciously naturally been programmed to sort out the weaklings, which are not weaklings, by the way, but the others? So is it because we have been programmed to disassociate ourselves from the others, or is it due to the way that we have been brought up, and due to what we have been exposed to in society and through media and through our parents and environment and friends and school and all those fantastic things? Yeah, so that was the little theme for today. It's something quite interesting, and I'd really appreciate your comments on this one, because as I said, this one is an open debate. This is not me just preaching to you like I have been doing for the past few days. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, that's about it. I had something to say, but I forgot, and I'm gonna keep you guys here for another 20 minutes, and it's not gonna be right. So if I do remember it, I will just type it out for you. Otherwise, good night, or good morning, whenever the thing is, I film these things every evening, so that's why I say evening and good nights and so on. But if you're watching this in the middle of the afternoon, good afternoon. Yeah. What does Truman say in the Truman Show? And if I don't see you, and if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Why does this keep happening to me?